Hey, what's going on YouTube? We are back for another look at World of Visions, this time taking a wind element team and not bringing Eithne or Fundamental Force. Well, at least not bringing the units. We are bringing several of Fundamental Forces, TMRs and STMRs, or well, STMRs, to help gear our party because, you know, as I've said before, Fairy Killer is just a really hard one to do. But it is really neat that we're bringing lots and lots of old units and only one NV+. So we're taking Wilhelm to kind of lead all of these wind units, and then we're going to use the rest of them to kind of like fill out the damage. And, you know, Wilhelm's going to be the main carry, of course, but we are bringing lots of others to kind of help Wilhelm do his thing. So let's take a look at their gear. We've got Malphasy here. Malphasy just has, you know, magic. In the base form, she's going to be singing the Zidane STMR song just to kind of get us started. And she's got an the Richt card. But in the shift form, she's just geared for, you know, all the normal stuff. True Double Hand, Beast, Fairy, LB damage. There you go. Chizuru, same sort of situation, just a lot of fire resist. Although it doesn't really need it. She could basically not be wearing anything against you to be totally fine in the base form. And then shift form, you know, again, True Double Hand, and then Beast, Fairy, LB. Now, one thing that's interesting, she's wearing a spear. That's because Wilhelm is providing the best imperil in the party with spears. So pretty much all the damage dealers are wearing spears, with the exception of Malphasy, who's wearing fists. But she provides her own pretty decent fist imperil. So there you go. But there you have it. She's got Typhus Spirit. And here's Sky in the base form, not really doing anything important. She is wearing this vision card. She's going to be using this to give Wilhelm a nice beast killer buff. And then in the shift form, she's going to be doing a jump. And she's got, you know, a bunch of jump gear. So she's got beast, fairy, some jump damage. And then she does have, you know, Dragoon helmet to boost the modifier of jump abilities as well. She's got her own intrinsic ability, which was free, and then, you know, just a bunch of chain cap and stuff for killers. There you go. Mid is not wearing anything in the base form except a vision card. And in the shift form, she's just got some jump gear and jump modifier gear. And she does like the worst damage out of the entire party when it comes to actual damage dealers, which is really sad. You know, there she is. She's mainly here to provide a field. And that's about it. But there you go. There's Mid. And then here's Emperor. Emperor of Palamecia, whose gear is completely irrelevant because he does so minimal damage. But he does have Eye of the Dragon to help us chain and build the chain a little bit. You know, yeah. His gear is completely irrelevant. Just, you know, whatever. And then our big carry, Wilhelm. So Wilhelm's got all of our good gear, all of our Clash gear. He's got his own TMR and STMR. Final Stand, Universe Eater, Escape Artist. He's wearing somebody else's EX ability, Scorched Earth, lots of fire resistance, and evasion and stuff like that. And then just like the best vision card I happen to have on him is the light vision card from Squall. And there you have it. So we'll take a look here and get into this clear. We're going to get this done on turn 5. Because of Mid and her stupid 2-turn jump, we have to go to turn 5. So let's go ahead and bring this up, and I will bring up our actions on screen. And I've also got a turn chart that I'm going to post in the comments, so we will see that here in just a moment. Okay. So we're going to start off with Mid, Emperor, and Sky all guarding. They don't really have anything to do this first turn, and that's okay. So we'll go ahead and guard, and guard. And then we're going to have Malphasy sing the song of her people. I wanted to go with you. Chizuru is going to use Beast Pulverizer. That way everybody has a Beast Killer buff. She's got a nice one for herself. And then we'll give Wilhelm a better one in just a second. Wilhelm is going to use Bar Firaja. And then he'll use his cover skill. And go ahead and use the Siege skill since it lasts for 5 turns. There we go. And then he's going to cover the damage this turn. And then we've all got, you know, fire resistance, so we don't take any damage this turn. Alright, Malphasy is going to keep on singing, which is fine. Chizuru is going to go ahead and use Strong Samurai Spirit, and then Body and Spirit as well. You know, for the mitigations, it doesn't really matter though. Those buffs sadly only last for 2 turns, so they're not really be doing a whole lot for us. It's okay. Sky is going to go ahead and shift up to the shift form, and she's going to use Sharp Spear, Focus, Severe Squall, and Overcast Skies. There we go. Those buffs last for 5 turns, so that'll keep her nice and ready to go. We're gonna have Mid go ahead and use her LB, her Shifted Limit Burst, which is gonna put up the Wind Field to get rid of this Fire Resistance in peril. There we go. Emperor's just gonna go ahead and guard, and then Wilhelm is gonna use his Omni Cover. So we're gonna do Safe Point or Decisive Point Safeguard. We'll go ahead and do Attrition and Anti-Fairy as well. That way everybody has Fairy Killer and some buffs and things like that. And now he's going to cover the damage this turn. There we go. Next thing we're going to do is that Mid is going to jump out of here. Before we do that, we are going to go ahead and get everybody rolling. We've got Chizuru during her Spring Wind Blade to power up over the next couple of turns. Sky is going to use Honed Skills on Wilhelm to power him up over the next couple of turns. Emperor is going to go ahead and use his Magnus Break Curse Flare, or no, not Curse Flare, sorry, Glimpse Hell's True Fury, and that's going to put the big brakes on the boss as well as get us ready to go. Mid is going to jump. Before we do, we're going to go ahead and either depending on what you really feel like you need to do, you could either guard or use like Protect and Shell, and what's it called, Armored Decoy, if you really want to. Or if you're not taking too much damage, you can go ahead and just guard too. There's really not a whole lot that you need to worry about here. That activates his drive shift for next turn. And then Mid is going to use Final Spine Shattered Dive, which is sadly a 2-turn jump. No damage. No damage. All right. To get us ready to do some real damage next turn. Malphase's done singing, by the way. Emperor is going to go ahead and use his SLB. That's going to put the Imperils on the boss and, refresh the brakes and things like that. And then Malphase is going to shift and start doing some setup for us. So we're going to make sure that everybody has wind. So she's going to go ahead and do N Eroga. And then just to kind of fill up the rest of her actions, Murderous Mob for the Imperil Field, Skilled Scavengers, which doesn't really do anything, and Fleetwing Flyers. That way she's fully powered up and ready to go for next turn. But now, if we take a look at the boss, we have a 210 Wind Imperil, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Tyvus Spirit on Chizuru. Thank you very much. And before we send Sky, we need to make sure we use Wilhelm's Overdrive. That way, Sky is fully buffed up for her jump, which she's going to do next. Sky has a pretty good attack, 22,021. Not bad at all. Wilhelm, go ahead and use his stuff as well. Limitless Surge Plus, Decisive Point Charge, and I like to just go ahead and use Tempest Spear, because why not? And then Sky just uses her normal attack to jump out of the way, and she will be able to land next turn. This is the last turn of Wilhelm's Omni Cover. He's covering us, and we take no damage, so it's good to go. Okay. We've got Wind Imperil on his side, Wind Amplify on our side. We've got our 2 jumpers in the air ready to come down, and we need to set up a nice little chain. So Emperor is going to chain Claw of the Dragon with Chizuru, and we're going to wait for that chain to build up and then send Malphase and Wilhelm. And once the chain is fully built, we can drop our jumpers. So it'll look something like this, and we're hoping to land between, 13, 14 billion damage. So let's do it. That looks pretty good. That final hit from Wilhelm was, a billion all on its own. So let's take a look. 14.6. I will take it. Looking pretty good. Obviously, you can see didn't take too much damage, didn't take any damage, and ooh, actually, Malphase rolled really well. So we look at that, crazy that Sky and Chizuru did basically the same amount of damage. Mid actually rolled really well too. I have seen Mid go over 1 billion, but you know it's just variance. You know, variance is a thing. So we've got Mid doing just under 1 billion, but we've got Sky and Chizuru doing pretty good. Malphase, you know, rocking 2 billion. And then Wilhelm, you know, obviously tearing it up. So, but you know, between Mid and Wilhelm, we're at 10 billion right there, and then these guys handled the other 4. So, not bad at all. Yeah, I like it. There's our wind clear. So if you're still struggling with World of Visions and you want to get a wind team in, that's an example of what you can do. What would I change if I could? If I could, I would probably swap out Mid for Prim. Prim has a 100% amplify that lasts for 3 turns, and you could put that on Sky, or if you had Benedicta, you could swap out Mid for Benedicta, which would then free you up to go faster, and also not have to use Chizuru's 3-turn amp. And that would do some good things for you. But yeah, wind is, you know, kind of weird, but with Wilhelm here helping out wind, it's you know, you definitely got some options, so I think that's cool. But yeah, hopefully that is useful to you and you enjoy that, and we will see you in whatever comes next. I don't know. I did do I was working on there was something else I was working on. I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head right now though. I'll have to go think about that for a minute. But yeah. I don't know. That was fun for me to kind of work that out. So I will talk to you guys later. See you later.